Okay, very good. So today's story is number 39. Some people refuse to believe without proof. Once there was a student who adamantly refused to believe anything without proof. Someone commented, "You'll be graduating next year. Is there any proof that you'll live that long?" The student replied, "Of course not. All I can do is go on with my studies, trusting that I'll still be alive when the time comes." Uh-huh. In other words, underlying your studies is a belief in something that cannot be proved. Yeah. I often find these kind of contradictions in myself and in other people. Um, yeah, like, yesterday, Yuichi was eating something cold from the fridge, and after we had hot soup, and I told him, "Oh, it's not good to eat something cold after we had the hot soup." Actually, I never take something out from the fridge. I try to make everything like warm. If it's cut fruits, leave it outside a little bit and then eat it. And then just when I say it, every time I say never, they say never say never. Yeah, I opened the fridge and I wanted to eat some fruits, and there were some chilled cherries, and I took them out, and I felt such a hypocritical to have said that to Yuichi. Uh, yeah. So it's just that we are not aware of inconsistencies in our belief system or in our ways of thinking, and what some people call it as having double standards. There are a lot of them. If we look closely, there are a lot of them, and actually, it helps us have less judgment of others, more compassion, more love, and be more at ease. Uh, yeah, so it's very beneficial. And regarding to today's title, some people refuse to believe without proof. Yeah, there are quite a few such people, especially people who uh, maybe worship science. Science is great, of course, we are grateful. Without it, we could not be talking right now. Science and technology. So we are very grateful, no doubt. And yeah, however, to think that science is almighty and worship it, then again, that's not good for us because people justify anything in the name of science. Um, and more dangerous things might be invented that ultimately, like the AI, they talk a lot about the AI. Ultimately, it might threaten our human existence. Yeah. Um, so, yeah, so a lot of researchers or scientists, they don't want to believe in anything that cannot be proven, like in a laboratory. And yet, if they meet someone, if they're single and meet someone and they tell us they fell in love and it was like love at first sight. And it's like, well, maybe they can explain it some way. Um, or like, well, I mean, maybe the best example is what's given in the text, that people believe without any proof that tomorrow will come, not just tomorrow, that, this person was going to graduate next year. We believe next year, if we're in school, we're going to graduate. And there's no proof, seriously, there's no proof that we will live that long. If we read the newspaper, listen to the news, day in, day out, there are people like us, just like us, who go about their daily activities, not thinking much, just busy, 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 just as busy as we are, going about their activities, and then suddenly something happens and their life comes to an end. One day we will be among such statistics ourselves, because anyone who is born, they have to die. And yeah, and yet not to see this kind of blind spot that we believe in tomorrow, we believe in next month, and we believe in the next year, um, without questioning it, feeling so secure in that. Um, yeah, Buddha says that's why we miss out on true happiness, happiness that holds us fast, never to abandon us. Because if it's true form of happiness, it has to be based on the truth. Truth is that everything is impermanent. Yeah, and how do we confront that truth of impermanence and try to find resilience for it? So that's what we are trying to do, learning the Dharma and going forward. And yeah, so to say that, yeah, the student replied, of course, I don't have any proof that I will live to see my graduation next year. All I can do is go on with my studies, trusting that I will still be alive when the time comes. So that's the blind spot here. Um, the student is trusting that he will be around next year, but then they refuse to believe other things without proof. It's kind of like whatever is inconvenient for us, we try to be very strict, but whatever is convenient for us is it's like we can be very lenient. That's why they say love is blind. Um, Someone just told me, when it comes to the religion of other people, we examine it very strictly, very logically, and rationally. And then we find a lot of faults with it. But when it comes with our own religion, we accept it with our heart, not with our mind or rationality. So there are these kind of dichotomies in human way of existence, and to see that, it brings out something good in us, because then we are not so judgmental of others. Okay, very good. So happy to be here with all of you. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and we will watch the or listen to the webinar, the second part, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time today, and have a wonderful Sunday. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Beta.
You're welcome, Gary.